Hello, my name is Jonathan Souza. I am now currently serving my international professional service semester at the Port of San Francisco, working specifically with the Foreign Trade Zone. I am a student at the Institute of International Studies, and this is my deliverable. The presentation structure will consist of 5 key points. 1, what was the project that I created? Number 2, the significance of the project, why? Thirdly, and very briefly, the applied research method that was pursued, the methodology, the limitations of gathering that information, and so forth. Number 4, the key findings in creating the project. And lastly, what these key findings mean for the institution that I was at, the practical implications of the key findings for the Port of San Francisco. And very quickly, what is a foreign trade zone? It's a designated area in or near a U.S. Customs port of entry where imported goods are subject to beneficial customs procedures. So duties and tariffs are either deferred, eliminated, or reduced. The area is considered to be outside of U.S. commerce, so imported inputs and goods are not considered to be within the United States when they are in that zone. This allows foreign and domestic merchandise to be commingled, tested, broken down, and many different things. And this encourages firms to employ domestically. It's a very dynamic program created to help tip the scales in favor of domestic manufacturing. The reality of the fact is that we can't compete with, say, Vietnam in terms of labor costs and things like that. So there's a reason why manufacturing is moving to Mexico, Canada, and abroad. So this is one way to help tip the scales in the favor of domestic manufacturing and keep jobs within the United States. The Foreign Trade Zone program has been absorbed into the National Export Initiative, started by President Obama. And the foreign trade zones are governed by the Foreign Trade Zone Board, which is governed by the International Trade Administration. So what was the program that what was the project that I created? It is an operational brochure. It was created to provide an overview and definition of the foreign trade zone, operational oversight of the foreign trade zone, or FTZ, potential benefits, and also help target clients. It also serves to provide useful marketing guidelines to attract more clients or operators, and how to submit the annual reports and how to perform other duties required for FTZ operators and employees. And also will provide guidelines on how to address and what to expect from future clients that we aim to get with successful marketing. Now, what is the significance of the project? Well, the project will remain a permanent fixture here at the Port of San Francisco, the FTZ number 3. In the initial blueprints of making the project, the Maritime Marketing Manager envisioned a document that anyone can take off the shelf, and within a day or a couple hours they can familiarize themselves, at least to an extent, to help with the managing of the foreign trade zone. It's also going to serve as a reference for the port staff. Think of foreign trade zones as learning a new language. You have to practice the term, practice the concepts, because we're speaking with clients or manufacturers or third-party logistics companies within the Bay Area. You're going to want to be able to answer their questions quickly and on the spot. And this will require at least a reference in front of you, something that can help you review these concepts and explain them in a succinct manner. The applied research method was a homologation of information. The information was taken from any pool that I could find, from the NAFTZ board, from the National Association of Foreign Trade Zones website, from the Foreign Trade Zone Board website, also especially from Foreign Trade Zone Board staff members, particularly Chris Kemp and Liz Whitman, who were in constant email communication with me as well as phone communications, which helped a lot with the definitions and explanations of the definitions of all the terms with the foreign trade zones. Also, the National Association of Foreign Trade Zone had what were called zone casts. These were monthly telephone conference calls between all of the foreign trade zones, which are hundreds within the United States, This helped us bounce ideas off each other, or maybe even just listen in on the conference and explain and go into detail about regulations, overhauls, and new processes that were occurring with the foreign trade zones. Also, Scott Taylor, an outside consultant that was brought in to speak at the conference that was put on, also gave a large amount of information and good explanations for everything regarding the foreign trade zone. Also, like most things, trial and error helped a lot with the gathering of information, particularly with the submission of the annual report that we had for the foreign trade zones to the Foreign Trade Zone Board. We went to it together for the first time, we revised our report, we turned it back in, and this helped immensely with the process